Hello, and in this video we're going to talk about walking, which is one of my favourite forms of cardio, and how much you need to walk to actually lose weight and help you do that on your weight loss journey. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll catch up. My name is Mark and I'm here to help you live a better, healthier life. My goal is to help as many people as I can get into shape and improve their quality of life. And now, without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's talk about the benefits of walking for weight loss. And there are quite a few. One of the first things to mention is that you're recommended to do about half an hour's exercise per day. That's the recommended amount, and that equates to somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 steps. I didn't realise until I started doing some research for this, but the 10,000 step goal per day that people quote, and I've quoted in the past, was actually first put out there for the first ever pedometer that was sold in Japan, and it was plucked out of the air for it. Now the whole thing with 10,000 steps these days is that it is your half an hour plus some extra, so it's a good target to have. But what are the benefits to actually walking? There's quite a few. From the mood that you're in, doing some physical exercise that's light, it puts you in a better mood, it puts you in a better frame of mind. So from a mental point of view, going for a walk, getting out of the house and doing something healthy is good for your mental health before you even look at anything else. But walking also helps you maintain your lean muscle mass. It also burns calories, which can help to people like me who need to lose some weight. So there are various benefits there, but it also helps with blood pressure, heart disease, the risk of type 2 diabetes. There are lots of things there that walking can help with and can give you benefits. But for me, one of the big things with walking is the mental health aspect, getting out of the house and just clearing your head and enjoying it. But the second one for me is really all about the fact that being a heavier person, it's a low impact way to do my exercise. It doesn't involve lots of pressure on my knees when I'm trying to run. It doesn't involve risk of injury, etc. And I'm very aware at the minute, given that I've still got a trapped nerve in my neck, although it is much better than it was. I'm very well aware that I haven't done much exercise for the past few weeks. Not much exercise at all. Over the last week I've built that back up to a couple of kilometres a day, but that's pretty much all the exercise I've been doing. So it's low impact, it helps with your blood pressure and heart disease. It also helps with cholesterol levels in terms of what's healthy and what's not, and the levels of them in your blood. But it is one of those things that it has lots of benefits, and you might, when you're walking, think that some benefits are more important to you than me, but for me that low impact exercise is a key one for me. I know I'm a lot lighter now with 190-ish pounds lost, but I'm still massively overweight. I may no longer be morbidly obese, but I'm still obese. So things that are activities, burn energy, that are not impactful on my joints are things that I'm always going to love. So for me, the benefits are plentiful. Which one's more important for you is up to you, but there are lots of benefits for it. Okay, so this is all about walking for weight loss. So we need to talk about calories. Walking and doing more exercise is not an excuse for me. Trying to lose weight is not an excuse to top up my calories and allow me to eat more. It's a way of increasing my calorie deficit without actually having to cut more food from my diet, because I still like a healthy portion. So it's a way to increase my deficit without actually impacting my life in general. So always remember that if you're walking for weight loss, you still need to combine it with being mindful of your diet and what you're eating and making sure you're in a calorie deficit. But it's a great way to increase your deficit, like I said earlier, without impacting your joints, etc. So there are various things to take into account here. How long you're walking for, obviously, how quickly you're walking, and also your size at the time. I walk at a little bit over 5 kilometers per hour, standard, and I can keep that going for, well, normally I can keep that going for hours at a time. And that means that in an hour I'm burning around about just a little bit over 500 calories in an hour, which means that 500 calories in an hour, if I do an hour's walking per day, then I'm burning 500 calories more per day than I would be a few weeks ago when I was sitting on the couch because I couldn't do anything with the trapped nerve in my neck. So it is one of those things that it's very easy to say, I'm going to do an hour's walking. But it is one of those things where be mindful of what you're trying to do, be mindful of your current exercise levels and build up there. Don't try and go all out right from the start, because that's when you'll start to do yourself some damage, be it blisters, sore feet, and that'll put you off walking. So build up to it. But the average person walks at about 4.8 kilometers per hour as a kind of average walk. So if you are my weight, 4.8 will get me somewhere just under 500 calories per hour going from there. And it is one of those things where if you can just add on an extra 30 minutes of walking per day onto your current exercise level, you'll be burning anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 calories extra per week just from adding that 30 minutes of exercise onto your daily routine. And it is one of those things where be mindful of this. The faster and the further you walk, the more you will lose in terms of calories. You'll burn them up. But as you lose weight, unfortunately, you also will then start burning less calories as you go on. So it will change over time. So don't rely on it being a fixed number. It will change over time. As you get faster and fitter, you will also reduce your weight, which means it will balance out. You'll walk a bit faster, so burn more, but you've lost the weight, so you will actually burn a little bit less. And there's lots of information out there. There are calculators out there that will give you an estimate of how much you're burning per hour at a given speed. And remember, most people walk about 4.8 kilometers per hour is the average. So if you're walking faster than that, you're above average. Walking slower than that, below average. But the main thing is you're doing it and you are burning some extra calories per minute that you are walking. And it is one of those things where that, if you treat it as an extra deficit, means that you don't have to be quite so harsh with your meal planning and your lifestyle changes to basically add to your calorie deficit for that day, that week, that month. So remember that, and remember that calories are all about the effort you put in. But if you're going from the couch, don't go and try and start doing an hour's worth of walking straight away, particularly not up hills and all the rest of it, but just slowly add to it in terms of what you're doing and how you're doing it. So I think we can agree that walking for weight loss is a great idea of adding easily more calories to your deficit over a day and a week. But how do you actually start doing that? Like I said before, don't jump straight into setting a goal of I'm going to walk for an hour or two each day. Build up to it. Little things you can do that are maybe a little bit silly, but will add steps to your day and will add effort to your day if you're going from a very sedentary sitting on the couch doing nothing. Walk to the furthest away bathroom you've got. Walk to the shops. Don't take the elevators. Take the escalator. Walk to the corner shop if you can, rather than driving to another shop. There are lots of things you could do to add a few minutes of walking into your day, without actually, setting out to do an hour's worth of walking. Split your walking. Go for a few short, 15-20 minute walks rather than trying to get that hour in all at once. But one of the things for me is make it enjoyable and make it part of your routine. You're choosing to live a healthier lifestyle, so include walking in that lifestyle choice. When you get up in the morning, you've had your shower and everything else, go for a 10-minute walk before you have your coffee. At lunchtime, once you've had your sandwich or your lunch or whatever it is, actually go for a short walk. Add those steps into your day and make it a part of your routine. I don't know how often anybody else does it, but I quite often will have my lunch and then I'll just sit there for 20 minutes. I'll play on my phone, I will do something else. Well, I could be going for a little walk. Part of that, of course, is making it fun. Okay? Any exercise is easier if you can make it fun. So in terms of a few ideas to make it more fun, and things that I do combinations of, is walk with a friend or your partner. Take the dogs for a walk if you've got them, although I still can't do that at the minute because they pull on the leads. Make it simpler for you in terms of splitting those walks rather than doing an hour all in one stretch into shorter periods of time. Some people say change the times you go for a walk, but I'm not very good at that. I like to be in a routine, so I like to get up, go for a walk, then have a shower and all the rest of it. But one of the things that I do to make it much more fun, particularly if I'm not walking with my wife or with the dogs, is put on an audiobook. I have listened to so many audiobooks as I've been walking. Walking for an hour, hour and a half per day, you get through an hour and a half of your book. The average book is about 12 hours long. So it takes you a couple of weeks, a week to 2 weeks to get through an audiobook. But you're basically listening to an audiobook as you're walking along, enjoying the scenery, getting out of the house. I find it fantastic for both my physical health, but also my mental health, in terms of getting out, some fresh air. And I do have to say that sometimes that is not the nicest in Scotland, because it can be absolutely, I'm looking for a polite word, it can be raining cats and dogs in the UK. So sometimes it's not the most pleasant walk in terms of the rain, but it's still good to be listening to my audiobook, going for a wander, or talking to my wife, occasionally even talking to the dogs, and going for a wander and getting outside. So not only is it good for actually my mental health, my physical health, it's low impact, but it's that key bit for walking for weight loss, which is increasing your calorie deficit without having to cut even further into the food you're eating. So it's a double whammy: mentally, physically better, lighter. And that is one of the reasons why I absolutely love walking for weight loss. It is one of those things where, for me, doing an hour's walk a day, which is what I easily was doing before my trapped nerve in my neck, that's 500 calories deficit extra per day without me having to do anything else. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend walking for weight loss. It's that low impact. It's particularly suited for bigger people like me who don't want to put stress on their joints and everything else, and get them out there, get them burning some calories and enjoying the outdoors. So that is, for me, walking for weight loss, in terms of the calories you can lose, the benefits you can actually have, and also how to include it in your routine and make it part of your routine. If you're choosing to lead a healthier, better lifestyle, then it is a great way to actually add to it without hurting your body in terms of impact on joints, etc. So as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button and leave a comment. And as always, I will see you in the next video.